Sunday School teacher, I'm glad that you've joined us for our time of preparation and study. We continue in the book of Exodus, and we are working on the Bible study for Sunday, October 8th. The title of this lesson is Commanded. Commanded, and we're going to be in Exodus chapter 20, and yes, that's right. We're going to be looking at the 10 Commandments. The point of the lesson is this, that God gives clear standard for holy living. God gives a clear standard for holy living. This session focuses on the 10 Commandments that God laid down for His people to live in right relationship with Him and other people. These same principles are true today. Obey these commandments. These were essential for wise living for individuals as well as for the survival of the nation. God gave them to the nation of Israel and said, if you do these, it's good for you, but it's also going to help the whole nation. And I think that's true for us today as a nation. The Israelites were to obey the 10 Commandments, not to earn their salvation, but to experience a meaningful life and to demonstrate that they belonged exclusively to the Lord. So the Lord gives them, says, follow these, not so that they can earn their way into a relationship, but they do these because it's the right thing to do. It's good. It's healthy. It's helpful. But also, it says to all the other pagans that are doing other things, those people are different. Their God is different. Well, let's look at these. The first two verses, we see the God of the commandments. Let's look at verses 1 and 2. Then God spoke all these words, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the place of slavery. This chapter begins with the legal portion of Exodus. The previous chapters have been more of a historical narrative, and now we move into the law, if you will, of Exodus. In verse 1, it says that God spoke all these words. God spoke. The significance of that in verse 1 is that this is not something that a man heard from another man,